Hello my friends, this is Jenny. Welcome back. If you are new to my channel, welcome and happy October 1st. It is officially spooky season. I don't know about you, but October is my absolute favorite time of the year for several reasons. Halloween being one, and the weather being two. I also love October because I get to craft more in theme with spooky, creepy, crawly fall vibes, which again, my favorite type of vibe. This year, I want to challenge myself and do something a little different. So I thought I would follow an October daily prompt list. I like prompt lists. I just don't do daily prompt lists. My schedule doesn't allow for that. And honestly, I don't know that my schedule is going to allow for it this year, but I thought I would try. I might not post daily, but I think I can handle weekly, where maybe I show you what I did for that week in one video. And occasionally here and there, I might post separate videos. So I don't know. I might surprise myself and post daily. I don't know. We're just going to roll with it and see what happens. But I decided I am going to follow the October daily prompt list that was posted by Pink Odd Bird. And I will link her YouTube channel down below so that you can check it out. Love the prompt list, love the idea. It's a prompt list that tells a story, which I love, love, love. I think when you're telling a story, it makes it easier to journal as opposed to just random lists of things that you should include on your page. That's just a me thing. First thing I needed to do was find a journal to work in. I have quite a vast collection of journals. Some I made, some I purchased. I looked through my hoard and believe it or not, didn't find anything that I felt worked for this particular prompt list and for the vibe I kind of have in mind. That being said, I have a couple of projects laying on the side in my craft room here and there. And I remembered this one project that I started. And now I'm going to complete because this is what I want to work in. I started a paper bag journal probably a month ago, and I've been doing a little bit of work on it here and there. This paper bag journal was inspired by two creative souls here on YouTube. Barbara, who is 49 Dragonflies, and Martina, who is Teal and Tattered Journals. Barbara is always making these beautiful bag journals, paper bag journals. And in the back of my mind, I have been wanting to do one because hers are just so beautiful, so inspiring, and it's just such a great way to upcycle or creatively recycle materials. So that was checking off all the boxes for me. And then Martina, her aesthetic is very different. I love her vibe. She recently made a journal. I think it was using Daphne Diaries magazines. And what I loved about that journal, never mind that it was absolutely gorgeous, just the colors were beautiful, but what stuck out to me was the treatment she did to the individual pages of the journal. They were not traditional, smooth, clean-cut lines in the journal. She deliberately tore the edges of all of the papers so that they were rough. The journal, the pages of the journal were not uniform. I absolutely loved it. So that kind of registered in the back of my mind as something I want to do. Combining Barbara's wonderful inspirations and Tina's wonderful inspirations, I started working on this journal. Mostly done. I just need to do some repairs. I need to do some patching, and then I have to put it together, and I think this is what I'm going to work out of. So I thought before I start my October daily, I would share with you what the journal, the paper bag journal I started looks like now, and then I will cut back in and show you what it looks like finished. It's going to be bare naked. The only thing that's going to be in this journal are the pages. The rest of the decorating, embellishing, and all that fun stuff I will do as I follow the prompt list. So I will share with you what I've done so far. This bag I absolutely love. This is a bag that I got when I vacationed in Florida earlier this year, way back in February. We went to Gideon's Bakehouse. Absolutely fabulous cake and cookies. These cookies are the size of your head. I kid you not. It's insane. And I love the decor for the place. It's very kind of like haunted mansion with a bit more of a gothic twist to it, and they have these beautiful paper bags and boxes, and very much on theme. Saw this, decided have to save this bag because it would make a beautiful cover, and so this is going to be the cover to my journal. This journal is so big I actually had to lift the arm here of my camera to max height in order for you to see most of it in the frame, but you still can't see all of it. It's going to be massive. It's going to be 13, just under 13 by 10 1/4. So that's going to be big. And I love big journals. A little bit of a challenge to work in, but I love that challenge. I'm going to accept that challenge. So this will be the cover. I do have to do a little bit of repair on the edge here. While I was trimming and cutting bags down to size, apparently this one got caught and it got snipped a little bit by the scissors. I didn't, luckily I caught it before I cut completely across the bag, but it is a little repair I have to make. I'm not too worried about. Love this bag. This is a bag from, you guessed it, Trader Joe's, and here are those rough edges that I mentioned. This was kind of an afterthought after I watched Martina's video. I went back and I started tearing the edges on the papers, and I love the way it looks. Starbucks, of course. This is just a bakery bag from my local supermarket. I have a lot of just brown paper bags that I've picked up here and there. This is another bag from Gideon's. We went there 3 times. Don't judge me. So I had quite a few bags to play with. I just changed this one around a little bit so you can catch half of the little cookie gargoyle here and the other half on the other side. And I also created a pocket. This was some bakery paper from Gideon's Staples bag. This is another paper bag. This one is from a salad place near my office called Sweet Greens. Super expensive, ridiculously expensive. I eat there infrequently, but on occasion a group of co-workers and we head over there, and so other than paying $20 for a salad, I know, crazy, right? I thought I would try to get something else out of the entire experience, and so I grabbed one of their bags. So this is one of their bags. I opened it a little differently, creating all these pockets and tuck spots. We'll see how that works out. This is, I'm not sure where I got this from. This is bags from everywhere. Here's another one of those Gideon bags. Another one of those bakery bags from my local supermarket. I thought that would make a fun little pocket. Might have to reinforce that. It feels a little flimsy. Rite Aid bag. I want to tear the edges on this one, but I might have to do a little sewing first because this bag is very thin. And so if I cut it here, it's going to separate the bag and make it even thinner. I like the thickness of having the 2 layers. So maybe what I will do is either glue somewhere along here or sew along there so that I can continue to tear that edge. Maybe I'll leave it as is and do a combination of torn edges and clean lines. Who knows? More brown paper bags. Love that Starbucks. A little addicted to that Starbucks. I think this might be another Rite Aid bag. I'm not sure. A wicked good time. I love this bag. I got this bag at, I don't want to call it a novelty store. It's a cute little store that popped up in my local mall where they sell a lot of anime type t-shirts and anime type things. Not that I shop there, but my kid does. I took my kid to the store and I love the bags, so he got a bunch of new anime stuff and I got the bag it came in, so go figure. Again, Rite Aid bag, and just more brown paper bags that I snipped here and there. Newberry Comics is the name of the place. Fun place. Love that bag. So what I did was, not only did I tear the edges of some of the bags, I also organized them so they're not all perfectly aligned. I staggered them so that you have different heights, different widths. Just fun, a lot of fun to play with. It's definitely a new type of journal for me, and I'm excited to be working on it. I can't wait to finish it, and I think it's going to be the perfect journal for this October daily. So what I'm going to do is make some repairs, do some patching, like for example, the Gideon's bags, they when you open the bottom of the bag, you do get a, because you know it's nice quality bag there, it's good glue, they stick. So when I was taking the bag apart, there was some peeling and some damage done to the bottom, and I need this to have that length and have a cover big enough for my signature. So I can't just hack it off unless I want to make the pages inside of the journal even smaller, which I don't want to do. I want to keep this exactly as is. So what I did was, from one of the bags, because I had 3, I cut some panels. These were panels, side panels for the bag. And I cut them thinking I can glue them to the edge here and cover up the damaged part of the bag. And so I am going to glue this, one on this end, or this side, and this, I think, on this side, and then trim it down to size, and that should work. Once the glue dries, I think what I want to do is sew around the edges of the entire bag. I was debating putting some felt inside, in between the 2 layers before I sew it shut, just to create a nice texture, and just to have this be a little fluffier. The right word. I just thought it would be interesting to and I want to know how that would work out, putting felt in here or something soft and squishy in here and then sewing it shut. I think it would be fun to do it. It would definitely give a little more volume to the bag. So I'll think about that. But in the meantime, I think what I'm going to do right now is start working on patching up this bag. These are just cut-offs and scraps that I kept. I figured they might come in handy as I work on the project. Always good to keep those scraps in case I have to make some repairs, or maybe I want to create pockets and other fun elements with it as I work in the journal. So let's do that. I'm going to fix the cover and then decide what the next step is going to be. Do I put the felt? Do I not put the felt? I guess I'll think about that as I work on the journal.
perdiendo entre las sombras, desvaneciendo, siempre otro despedir, a veces más lento, demasiado rápido para mí, siempre tan fuerte mi necesidad por ti. La primera mirada que yo vi fue la misma que me diste en aquel despedir, aquel abrazo vino a ser el último que te di, tu mano en mi mano, todo me lo sabía decir. El dolor me ahoga, me agarré tan fuerte de ti, no quería soltarte, no podía dejarte ir, el miedo a perderte no me dejaba respirar, no podía aguantar que ya no estarías más. La primera mirada que yo vi fue la misma que me diste en aquel despedir, aquel abrazo vino a ser el último que te di, tu mano en mi mano, todo me lo sabía decir. Cerca, siempre cerca, cerca, siempre cerca de mí. Cerca, siempre cerca, siempre cerca de mí. La primera mirada que yo vi fue la misma que me diste en aquel despedir.
I am back, and because I totally suck at sewing, my bag's a little wonky, but I have to tell you, I love it. The cover turned out so nice. My sewing machine dictated the color of the thread that I used to sew around the edges of the bag. There was some purple thread already in the sewing machine. Purple, Halloween, why not? And I was entirely too lazy to rethread the machine. And I do like the purple. I used a zigzag stitch, and the bag did pinch a little bit on this edge here. I just think I did a terrible job controlling the paper and the felt as it was feeding through the machine, and so there was some places where it got a little wonky. That's okay. I love it. You know what? It's imperfect, like me, so can't be mad about that. This is what it looks like. I think the purple looks really nice. Can we see? Yeah, I like the purple. I used the zigzag stitch. The bag just has a really nice feel to it. Definitely feels different. A little more, I don't know, it's just nicer to touch. That might sound weird, but that's just what it is. And I think it will work so nice with the signature. And the best thing about having these torn edges for signatures, for pages in my signature, is I can always tear away a little bit more if I feel that it's sticking out a bit too much, but that doesn't bother me either. I want this book to be just, I don't know, fun. It's okay if it's imperfect. It's okay if it's wonky. It'll have character. Like all things Halloween, they have character. So I think what I'm going to do next is, I think I'm going to sew the signature into the book and then just go from there. That might be it. I mean, like I said, I've been working on this for a little while, so I think I did most of the work off camera. My signature is sewn into my journal. That was a struggle. I don't know about you, but I always struggle with sewing a signature into a soft cover type journal. I think for me anyway, that's because I don't have a truly defined spine, so it's hard for me to use my typical method that I use when attaching a signature to a spine. It's harder for me to use templates. It's just harder for me to do everything. I don't know why that is, except that there's no defined spine. So it's just a little more difficult for me to get it done, and the struggle is harder than it needs to be. But I got it done. It's a little wonky, but that's okay. And I didn't quite match up the edges of my journal. So I have the back cover is a little wider than the front cover, but this is easily fixed. I'm sure I can find some lace or something to put here at the edge. I thought maybe I can just trim the back cover some, but I do have my stitching, and if I trim the back cover, I'm going to lose that stitching. So it is what it is. I will make it work. I am not going to focus on the front cover so much at this point. I'll probably wait to the end to do the front cover, but I do want to get started on my prompts. So I think what I will do is call this video done. So let's call this the introduction and setting up of the journal that I will be using for my October daily. In the next video, I will start the prompts. I did print a copy of the prompts. I don't know why. I think you're going to hear that a lot from me today. But my printer is printing everything in purple, and I can't figure it out. I really can't. So, the original document with the prompts is this like really pretty vintagey color. And here I got all purples, which is not terrible, but I don't want every prompt in my book to be purple. So I just ended up printing it in grayscale. I can work with grayscale, and in, you know, some instances I'll use the purple. So that's, I guess, what I'm working with. Not willingly, but that's what I'm working with. So that is going to be all for this video, my friends. I so appreciate you watching with me, and I hope you will continue to watch as I continue to work on these journal pages using the prompts provided by Pink Oddbird. I will catch you all in the next video, my friends. Until next time, bye-bye.